Assalamu alaikum, this is Maria Zulfikar welcoming you all to the English news from BTV Chattogram. Let's begin with the headlines. July, a pivotal moment in Bangladesh's political history, an extraordinary sacrifice and bravery day that reshaped the nation's path. The National Citizens Party launches a nationwide campaign July-March to rebuild the nation. Shahparan, the prime accused in a pornography case linked to a woman abuse incident in Muradnagar, Kumilla, has been arrested. Israel has dropped bombs 6 times more powerful than those used in Hiroshima. UN Human Rights Council report over 100 more Palestinians killed in continued Israeli attacks on Gaza. And Brazilian club Fluminense faces Saudi club Al Hilal tonight in the first quarter-final of the FIFA Club World Cup football. Viewers, those were the headlines. Now moving on to the details. July 4th, 2024, the visible crackdown on the Kota reform movement began on this day. In a hearing regarding the appeal against the High Court's verdict to reinstate the Kota system, the court refrained from making any decision. In response, the Shahbag intersection remained blocked for 6 hours, and from there new protest programs were announced. The declared programs included online and offline mass outreach on Friday. July 5, protest rallies across the country on Saturday, July 6, and a nationwide boycott of classes and exams at all educational institutions starting Sunday. Movement coordinator Rifat Rashid wrote on Facebook, "The people have seen the High Court's verdict. Now it's time for the students to deliver theirs." On the same day, ruling party student wing Chhatra League members tried to obstruct student protesters in the dormitories of Dhaka University. Defying intimidation, students from every hall poured out into the streets to join the demonstrations. Coordinators called on students nationwide to occupy the streets. At Rajshahi University, students demonstrated for hours in the rain. In Borishal University, students took to the streets wearing shrouds symbolizing their readiness to sacrifice. There, they were attacked by Chhatra League members. Students at Mamansingh Agricultural University, Jahangirnagar University, the University of Chittagong, Shah Jalal University of Science and Technology, and Islamic University also staged road blockades that day. It became increasingly clear to students that the government was attempting to use the judiciary to serve its own interests. With far-sighted planning and spontaneous support from across the country, the movement gathered momentum, laying the groundwork for a new Bangladesh. During the July uprising, graffiti emerged as a powerful visual medium that played a vital role in awakening mass consciousness among the people. These graffiti works primarily served as expressions of resistance against autocracy, demands for state reform, protests against genocide, and tributes to the sacrifices of martyrs and the injured in the movement. At a time when television remained silent and newspapers faced censorship, the walls became the voice of the people. The use of graffiti during the July uprising was a creative and impactful method that resonated widely with the public and contributed significantly to the success of the mass movement. Throughout history across the world, graffiti has found its place as a language of protest in movements. In July too, when people took to the streets against tyranny, the walls became their fearless voice. The graffiti helped raise awareness among ordinary people and encouraged them to actively participate in the movement. The National Citizens Party (NCP) has observing a month-long nationwide program titled July March to Build the Nation, which are taking places across all 64 districts of Bangladesh. The campaign, organized to commemorate the 2024 July Uprising anniversary, was begun on 1st July and would continue until 30 July. Now the NCP is observing July March in northern part of the country. The top leader of NCP lead the march on different parts of northern district. Rapid Action Battalion yesterday arrested a man for allegedly instigating a mob to assault a rape victim and circulating a video of her on social media in Kumilla's Muradnagar Upazila. Shahparan, 28, the younger brother of Fajr Ali, who is the prime accused in the rape case, was arrested from Kumilla, said RAB 11 commanding officer H.M. Sajjad Hussain at a press briefing at the RAB Media Center in Dhaka today. He said Shahparan was arrested on Thursday afternoon during a raid in the Burichong Upazila of Kumilla. Shahparan is accused of physically assaulting the victim and recording a video of her in a disrobed state. He is also believed to be the key individual behind the circulation of that video on social media. Now, international news. U.S. President Donald Trump claims to want safety for people in Gaza as he prepares to host Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu next week to push for a ceasefire. Meanwhile, Hamas is seeking guarantees that a new U.S.-backed ceasefire proposal for Gaza would lead to the war's end, a source close to the group said. At least 101 Palestinians have killed in Israeli attacks across Gaza on Thursday, including at least 51 people who were waiting for humanitarian aid. Former EU Foreign Policy Chief Joseph Borrell condemned the U.S. mercenaries for killing 550 starving Palestinians in 1 month as they attempted to reach the GHF distribution points. Israel's war on Gaza has killed at least 57,130 Palestinians and wounded 134,592. Amid 20 consecutive months of war in Gaza, Iran's retaliatory attacks and the hardline policies of Prime Minister Netanyahu's administration, a severe wave of immigration has gripped Israelis' Jews. Many citizens, dual nationals and even tourists are now attempting to flee via rescue flights or by sea. However, the Israeli government has imposed strict restrictions to curb this mass departure. A significant number of people are reportedly setting out for Cyprus aboard yachts and boats. In line with government directives, airlines have suspended ticket sales to citizens attempting to leave the country. According to recent official data, since the war began on October 2023, 82,000 Jews have left Israel. However, independent estimates suggest the actual number is closer to 5 lakh. U.S. sources indicate that by mid-June alone, more than 25,000 Americans, many of whom are dual citizens, have filed requests to return from Israel, the West Bank, and Iran. On a single day, at least 10,000 people reportedly applied to leave. Canada has also announced plans to repatriate 6,000 of its citizens. A deep-rooted sense of insecurity has long existed within Israeli society. Data from 2003 showed that approximately 750,000 Israelis were already living permanently abroad, the majority in the United States and Canada. Experts believe that due to the ongoing war, social unrest, extreme government policies, and an uncertain future, many now view Israel as unsustainable. Various groups have already started protesting against the government's travel bans. The U.S. Congress has passed Donald Trump's sprawling tax and spending bill in a significant and hard-fought victory for the president and his domestic agenda. After a grueling session on Capitol Hill, the House of Representatives passed the bill by a vote of 218 to 214 on Thursday. It was approved in the Senate on Tuesday by one vote. The bill now heads to the White House for Trump to sign it into the law. As a result of the new legislation, the U.S. will lift its debt ceiling, the amount the federal government is allowed to borrow, by $5 trillion. The bill also pours tens of billions of dollars into the immigration enforcement, one of Trump's top priorities, and it will also cement the 2017 tax cuts that Trump championed during his first term as president. To pay for those expenditures, the bill scales back social initiatives like Medicaid, government health insurance for low-income households, and the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, otherwise known as food stamps. Russia has accepted the credentials of a new ambassador of Afghanistan as part of an ongoing drive to build friendly relations with the country's Taliban authorities, which seized power as United States troops withdrew from the country 4 years ago. The move makes Russia the first country in the world to recognize the country's Taliban government. This brave decision will be an example for others, Afghan Foreign Minister Amir Khan Muttaqi said in a video of a meeting on Thursday with Dmitry Zernov, the Russian ambassador to Kabul, posted on X. Now that the process of recognition has started, Russia was ahead of everyone. The group seized power in Afghanistan in August 2021, when U.S. forces supporting the country's internationally recognized government pulled out. Moscow, which called the U.S. withdrawal a failure, has taken steps to normalize relations with the Taliban authorities since then, seeing them as a potential economic partner and ally in fighting terrorism.